Okay, for this video, kind of a cult classic, ESPN NFL 2K5. Pretty cool game. A lot of people remember fondly. It was the last year before the exclusive deal for Madden football and Sega. Madden won the exclusive rights. Sega, with their 2K football, said let's give one last hurrah, make the best game we can. And they charged like $19.99. It was like $20 for this game, and was pretty cool. Had Terrell Owens on the cover. Me as an Eagle fan, loved this game. And so let's look at this. There's options there. You could play online. You could play with franchise mode, with the draft and everything. ESPN integrated into it, and as far as I'm concerned, for the time which it was created, this is on the PlayStation 2. This is the greatest presentation of any sports video game at its time. I think that could have been made. Like, people think of MLB The Show. Before that, it was this football game on 2K Sports. So let's look at this. Let's play through a game here. Quick game. So obviously I'm going to play with the Eagles at home. It's been a little while since I played this. So let's go like Eagles Cowboys, little rivalry going here. We'll go with current uniforms. They had the throwbacks you could wear and everything. And they give you this little information here. Kind of cool stuff that you can look at for it. You could actually look at your coaching tendencies and share them with other people, I believe, and see what they were doing. So if you're playing a franchise with other people, kind of scout on them and practice against, you know, the scout team or whatever. Practice against that team running similar plays that they do. So a lot of effort into this before the exclusives.
Here we go on ESPN. We'll see Brian Westbrook.
This is cool. Chris Berman on here.
Last year in split duty. Then he got hurt.
In the Dynasty mode, you have Sports Center moments where it shows you highlights from the different games. It's tough to beat this. You don't see the kind of effort to detail, I don't think, with the exclusive deals in these video games like you used to. But back when people wanted you to choose their game, they had to be more innovative. Madden had a real great game, one of my favorite Madden games of all time, Madden 05, the same year.
Unquestionably, Dan, TO is so tough to defend against.
Graphics aren't terrible for this. For PlayStation 2, remind you, PlayStation 2.
Speed is deceptive too. He's one of the best around, if not the best around.
The old Reebok jerseys. It's fun to play this game. There's a good modding community if people are interested in that. I just like to look at the original game to show you how it played, you know, to give you kind of an idea. Seeing the older rosters, you know, like Brett Favre was in this game. Jake Delhomme. Obviously Donovan Mcnabb here. Kurt Warner was with the Giants at that time. It's kind of a fun NFL. For me, being an Eagle fan, obviously a great season for him, but ultimately heartbreaking with the Super Bowl loss. Hey, Tom Brady's still in this game. He's still playing now all these years later. So you got a great balance in here. Okay. So I like this because you could choose your defensive line stunts first and then choose your coverage. I always thought that was kind of cool. Wasn't sure what the best way was to present this to you. So I went with the widescreen. Keyshawn Johnson here.
Double coverage, but gets his man perfectly. Hey, that was one accurate throw.
Not much there. It'll be second down.
Got to take what you can get, Dan, but they were, hoping for more.
This Eagles defense. See, I don't think they have Jeremiah Trotter there at the inside linebacker position.
Johnson goes in motion.
But Brian Dawkins obviously really good on the Eagle team.
Jones gets the call on second down and only gets back to the line of scrimmage.
The Cowboy team wasn't real great. Roy Williams injured, Terrell Owens in the few games left in the season.
7 yards to go.
So the Eagles will still be able to make the Super Bowl without him. They relied on Brian Westbrook. Oh, make that play. Eagles secondary was pretty good that year too.
It'll be fourth down.
Yeah, Lewis and Dawkins and Sheldon Brown.
Football before the receiver even had a shot at it.
Oops. I was talking and I wasn't paying attention.
Number 1 lines up to punt after
And
the
Lito
3
Shepard.
and out.
Lito Shepard was in the secondary too.
Number 1 gets the
I
ball,
think the
punts it
overall
away.
this graphics hold up reasonably well for a PlayStation 2 game.
Stop at the 46.
Reno Mahe racked up a few yards on
Presentation,
the
I think, is
whittling down
great.
the size of the punt a
The
little
menus
bit.
are great. It makes sense how all that stuff works.
The Eagles offense takes the field.
You just
and they're
have the
already
crowd looks pretty
halfway
good
there.
from far away.
They'll
When you
start
get
at
close to
their
the crowd, it gets a little
46.
pixelated.
Westbrook
So that's a little bit of
so
a
that will bring
different
up
thing. That,
second down.
you know, it'd be nice if the crowd looked better closer up, but yeah, I don't think you can really complain about these graphics too much. They looked good at the time.
Second down.
A little different style than the Madden styles, you know.
McNabb throws a bullet to the flat, and he's on target for a gain of 5.
And overall, it feels pretty good. It's not as tight of a game
Was able to get by it for
as
a
Madden
reception.
at this point in
That's how
time.
you
Madden
draw it.
almost feels more arcadey in the early 2000s. A little more control over the players.
Now they just need to convert.
John Ritchie,
See
little
if they do.
fullback action.
Ritchie gains 5 on the play, and they convert
And you don't
the
get,
third down.
it's almost like you're kind of a little, like you're on ice or something when you're running here. It takes you a little while to get started. Trying to find some plays here I like. But overall, it handles pretty nice, the game does. And the sliders that you can adjust and everything, really a strength for this game, to where you can make a really good feeling football game with this, even if you don't like the
Second down, and they line up
with
with
the
3
defaults.
tight ends.
and just looks like Donovan Mcnabb, looks like the link. Fighting for the extra yards. I don't feel like you get so many of the locked-in animations as you did it with the Madden at those
I
times.
think they were sharing each other's aftershave.
And to just wanted to establish something. I don't want to lose this game, but I don't play it a whole lot anymore. I'm trying to get the feel of it.
Carries it for a third time in a row and converts the
I probably
third
should have
down.
just picked the Super Bowl. You got the reflection in the helmet. That was pretty good.
When you get the initial
Should've
surge
played
like
the
that,
Super
good
Bowl
things
rematch
happen,
against
especially
the-
in the ground game.
A big gain on
Against
third,
the
and they
Patriots.
will easily move the chain.
Perfect
This
call for
game
the
you could
situation, Dan. No trouble in
you
getting
can
the first.
definitely play a season of it or a franchise and still enjoy it. Whereas some of the retro games don't hold up quite as much.
Patches it over the middle, and that's a touchdown.
I think this one does. It's got a lot of fun to it. There was an updated game to this later called All Pro Football. If I can find my version of it, I had it on Xbox 360.
Oh, it's all about accuracy, Dan. And
If I can find that
there's only one
copy
guy
of it,
covering on that one,
I'll
so
try to do
it's
a
an easy catch.
video
He
for
gets
that
the
also.
TD and a little congratulations from his teammate.
Played with
Well
just
deserved,
legends
Dan.
and you put your teams together. I like this game a little bit more than that because of the franchise. All Pro,
Now
you
the
could only
extra
play
point,
single
and
seasons.
It's good.
but you could always create a new team, and the teams were always different, so that was where the playability came through. But I like having the NFL roster in here for this, for sure.
There's the signal.
Had the same broadcast crew. I don't think it was on ESPN, though. I don't think it had
Fields it
ESPN for
all
that
the
game.
way back at the 2.
This looks pretty good. This good
It looks
polish.
like, yeah, we've had an injury down on the field. As soon as we hear anything, we'll be sure
I think
to
the first time I saw a 2K NFL game was some kids in college were playing it on the Dreamcast. And I was just blown away how real it looked like. It was maybe the first time playing a football video game where I almost thought I was watching TV. You can look at this now and it doesn't look like TV, but at the time, the players didn't all move robotic. They're all a little bit
It
different.
looked like a skate drill in practice. You keep your feet moving, zone in, and make the play. Perfectly
Good
done.
amount of
Second down and 4
plays for you defensively, some good schemes. You don't have like the zone read stuff or the RPO type of things that you see in the NFL now, but you can still play modern styles of football with this game.
The anticipation to the throw was
Still had some teams that were willing to run the ball a little bit during these times. Get them!
Coming up. Walker gets the sack way back at the 18. That will bring
Stevenson's
up
good.
4th down.
Yeah, Jeremiah Trotter.
to his man in the backfield for
Oh,
a
yeah.
big loss. I don't know what happened to the protection.
Yeah, Javon Curse on the edge.
Dan, it's all about focus and persistence. He was not going to let that quarterback get that
Like
pass
Reese
off.
was on the team. He's on the radio for them now. And then just a good defense. Offensively, you had Westbrook. You had good line. You had John Runyon.
Solid.
Number 1
Trey Thomas.
and punts it away.
Trey Thomas.
Dawkins
Left
takes
tackle.
it at the 47. The 45. Tackled at the
LJ Smith was a
44.
decent tight end.
Brian Dawkins.
And then you basically had Terrell Owens.
Whittling down the size of the punt a little bit.
Pinkston was out there.
And an effective
Greg
first
Lewis,
drive.
Freddie
We'll see
Mitchell.
if they can keep it up. They'll start.
But they weren't really weapons. So to me, the fact that Donovan Mcnabb was such a good quarterback during that time.
Brought down at the 44.
Prior to that Super Bowl here, he was getting to the NFC Championship.
But he was
Not a lot of
still
help.
left with nowhere to go.
Not much there. It'll be second
It's
down.
crazy to me.
Got to take what you can get, Dan, but they were, hoping for more.
And that'll
Alright,
do it
quarterback,
for
your
quarter
quarter.
number 1. The Eagles are out in front, 7-0.
You can see there the crowd, a little one-dimensional. You can see how they put that together. It's cool. They got the cheerleaders interacting on the sideline. You can see a few figures and stuff in the end zones and on the sidelines.
Westbrook carries it for the 6th time and gains about 3 yards.
Alright, let's see here if we can try to get one here. We're looking either at Pinkston on the in or Owens. Going Owens because he had the win. That was just my kind of pre-snap read. It's like, if that safety slides over, we're going after it. We can try to pick on that again, but this time with the in route from Pinkston. Reed Williams here. If Williams jumps up, then we can maybe try to get that. We also have that zero route on the bottom. Let's try it.
Woodson makes a play on this one and forces the incompletion.
Darren Woodson came in and got a hand on that football and left no chance for a reception there.
That had potential
Try a
for
little
some yards, Peter,
John
but the
Ritchie on
defense was on
fullback
top of
here.
it and shut it down.
Good denial there.
Second down coming up.
Check
Still
out
have
those
fullbacks
interceptions
in the
over his
league
career. What
that
a
did
ball
fullback
hawk.
things. Oh,
Ritchie loses one on the play,
tried
and
to
that
cut
will
that
bring up third
inside.
down.
And
James
Just
Boyd
didn't get
targeted
there.
the ball carrier early and didn't even
There's
let
an
him get back
opening.
to the line of
There's an
scrimmage.
opening.
And I'll tell you what, this looks like it wasn't that difficult to tackle, but he had his hands
That's
full.
on me,
Yeah,
probably.
looks can be deceiving, Dan. He really had to square himself perfectly to make that play.
All right, here we go. Here, so we got the slant, and then we got Westbrook coming out of that. Ooh, yeah, there we go. That was further downfield than what I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be. Carell Buckhalter was good backup.
Carroll Owens.
This is like right after the Eagles didn't have Deuce Staley anymore.
Synchronization by
my
the
favorite
quarterback
players.
and the receiver. Way to get open.
Being a Nebraskan, Carell Buckhalter being with the Eagles is pretty cool.
You have to like his performance so far.
Well, Dan, I like any receiver who's willing to go over the middle and sacrifice the body to make the
See
catch.
how we can do it
Ground
here.
or air threat here. Let's see what they do, Dan.
This is, yeah.
Touchdown.
Easy. I remember
It's a nice short
so
yardage
much
run
about
here,
this
Dan.
Eagles season.
When push comes to shove, you want to be able
was
to
a long
get the
time
yards
ago.
you need. And as you can see, they got
Sometimes Andy Reid teams would start off a little slow, or they'd be
it.
kind of
That's
banged up. He
nice
always
to
had
have that.
physical.
So far, he's got
training
27
camps.
yards and 1 touchdown.
I remember the hype of Eagles training camp with Terrell Owens coming there,
It's good.
and they just started off good. You know, they started off real good that year. They had their early loss to the Steelers, and I thought at that time, oh no, maybe we're not going to be that good. But then they didn't lose again
And we're set.
until at the end when they had the home
Booms up duty here.
home field wrapped up. They lost their last few
Tries to
games,
take it out of the end zone.
resting up those players. Like I said, Terrell Owens got injured,
Decided to take it out of the end zone.
but
Turned
then
out to
he
be a
fought
good
really
decision,
hard
Dan.
to
He got
be
some
back,
good
and
yards
was
there.
impactful in that Super Bowl. And we just, whether it was Spygate or whether it was just being outcoached or what, but we couldn't seem to get to the quarterback. Our defense didn't play its best game.
Witten goes in motion.
And offensively, just
Made the throw that was
McNabb
off
wasn't
target
having his
there.
best game.
Incomplete. Bickerstaff had to leave
Still
the field earlier in the game, and now
pretty
Susie
special
Calder
season.
has a report. Susie?
I can be less mad about it now that they eventually won a Super
It appears that he's got a broken hand. They're fitting him with a brace,
Andy
and
Reid
they told me that he
had
will
quite a
be
team
ready
put
to go
together.
back in later in the game. Dan?
As always, we'll hope for the best up here in the booth. Thank you.
Doesn't hurt that the NFC East was not at that time
Picks up
either.
a yard on the play, and that brings up third down.
Julius Jones.
See, I think
with the football.
Washington,
Thanks to some initial blocking,
the Washington
problem was
football
they couldn't
team, or
keep
whatever
that
they
push
are
going for very
now,
long.
Well, not much of a game there, and they will face third down.
when they were
Third
the
and long, too, Dan. Big play coming up.
old name,
Grabs the fastball over the middle.
this was Steve Spurrier was coaching them at this time. I'm pretty sure Steve Spurrier's coaching this game. The former Florida Gator. So that's kind of cool. That's how you get
Wow,
it.
this was a really nice play, Dan, and it worked out from so many angles. But the main thing I love is all the little details. Oh, this is the stuff our camera crew is so
Tight
good at
ends
capturing
here.
every week. Great job, guys.
First down, 2 wideouts on the field.
And just a little, what's that middle there?
Wayne tackles in behind the line of scrimmage.
Nate Wayne.
Sometimes you have to be aware where you're gonna
Didn't even let him
these
get back to the line of scrimmage.
you can
That's his third tackle of the game.
motion players in different ways. So like on offense, like in Madden, I think you could put one person in motion, he's there. You can kind of move as many people around as you want before the snap. Obviously, you can't have more than one person in motion at the same
Goes in
time,
motion.
but you can have a lot more flexibility with the pre-snap on this game, I think. But I think maybe you can only have one hot route at a time on offense on this. Seems like that might be the case.
Second down, 3 wideouts in the game.
I just not playing this game in a while. I'm enjoying it. Forgot how much I enjoy this game. If I was losing and nothing was working with me.
Continue to run.
assignment goes in.
And this was even
unblocked
before the
and
Eagles
nails
had,
it to the
like,
ground. The O-line should be
Broderick,
embarrassed.
Bunkley,
Watch
and
this.
Michael Patterson.
Sacks don't get much
This-
easier than that.
That will be 2 losses in a row.
Great read by the D on the last 2 plays, Dan. Well, Dan, both sides seem geared up for the pass. Let's see
There
what
on the
happens.
other edge.
Campbell
So
goes
this
in
was, I
motion.
mean, I'm trying to think when, like, Trent Cole came.
Carter zings it to the right side, and it's tipped.
Trent Cole must have been not too long after this.
That where they may
Trent
have got a
Cole's
hand on that
before
football.
Brandon
He
Graham.
left no chance for a reception.
The defense forces 4th down, and even if they had completed the
It
pass,
still would have been short.
the Eagles want to talk it over, and
I don't
they take
remember
their
what it's
first
quite
time
like
out.
if you accidentally have a defense going and not paying attention. I'm talking too much.
4th down, and the
The
punting
play
unit
art,
is
you
on
can
the
tell
field.
what's going on in like some of the other games of the videos that I've done. You know, so it's
Takes
like,
the long
you
snap
know
and punts it away.
what the defensive assignments are going to be, and especially where you can choose those route or those defensive line stunts, for example. You look on these, and you can tell where the running schemes are going. You can tell when a guy's pulling. You can tell
Eagles come
if
out
it's
on
inside
offense
where
and
that
are
split's
well
supposed to
ahead.
be, where you're
They
supposed
have
to
yet
run it
another
to.
shot to score,
Like,
and
everything
start
makes
this
sense.
drive at their own 30-yard line. Gets the sack, and the clock continues to run.
That was
Marcellus Wiley gets to his man in the backfield.
Trying to
for a
take,
big loss. I don't know what happened to the protection. Let's have a look. You know,
trying to take a
Dan,
shot
it's all
down
about
the
focus and
field.
persistence. He was not going to let that quarterback get that pass off.
The defensive
nabbed
design
here.
worked flawlessly, and the refs have spot the ball well behind the original line of scrimmage.
What a way to derail a series from the onset.
2nd and long ahead. 2nd down with the tight end right. Owens makes the catch.
Not
out
the
to
greatest
left,
throw.
and is at the 15.
I thought it was going to be
He's in
picked.
for the touchdown.
There you go. I mean, Owens was so good. Would have been awesome if they could have made it work. Got the crowd there. Sometimes before these games, I remember it would show the crowd like tailgating outside the stadium.
Easy catch.
Another touchdown for him, and another wonderful effort.
Hey, you got
after
the
catch,
cameramen, the
getting into end
cheerleaders,
zone.
the
Yeah, it's all about effort, Dan.
media
What a
on the
great
sideline
performance.
there. It's a good game.
As you
Even
can see,
here,
he's
the
up
crowd
over the
looks
century
okay.
mark. Oh, he
It's
came
just
to
when you
play
get up
today.
close, kind of at that angle. They're moving a little bit differently. You know, it doesn't look like they're all moving the exact same. There's a little variety. Big Red.
There's the signal, and we're ready. Akers kicks it off.
Soundtrack seems pretty
Smith
good.
fields the kickoff at the 3. Dodges a tackle.
Broadcasting's
Brought
not
down
bad.
at the 31.
Zuriel Smith was able to find some weak spots in the defense. Got a good run back off that kick.
Nab on the phone. Remember that time he ran to the opposing team's sideline, gets forced out of bounds, and he picks up their phone and talked on it.
Later. They'll start at their 31-yard line. Carter really rifles this pass.
You
And
almost
it's
caught it,
off.
we almost got it.
Incomplete.
Barry Glenn was the intended receiver. Number 26.
Lito Shepard was in man coverage and played it pretty tight. Tight enough for the incompletion.
That had potential for some yards, Peter, but the defense
Dawkins
was on
had
top
his
of it
side on
and
that
shut
too.
it down.
Good
Dawkins
denial
with his
there.
full
Second
visor.
down coming up. Second
Looked
down,
awesome.
10 yards to go.
Ball at the Cowboys' 31-yard line.
Number 14 goes in motion. This
Good
one
pressure
will
up
fall
front.
incomplete.
Good pressure up front. I
Antonio
like that
Bryant
seeing
had
Sheldon
some
Brown
room
up
on
there
the
dive for
fringes
the
there,
ball
but
even though it
couldn't
was on the
reel in
ground.
pass.
That's the third incompletion this way,
interactions.
Peter.
Yeah, and he's starting to look a little frustrated down there, too.
I'm offsides.
Carter throws a heater right side.
I figured I would have picked it.
It's knocked away from the receiver, incomplete.
Third down.
Corey Simon had crossed the plane made by the tips
Gotta be a
of the
little more
football
disciplined,
on
man.
the last
Gotta
one.
be a little more
We
disciplined.
got the call for a neutral zone infraction.
Third down with a split backfield.
Jimmy Johnson was the defensive coordinator for the Eagles. So aggressive with the blitzing.
Hammers the receiver,
So ahead of his
forces him to
time
drop
there and
the
did it
ball.
way more than anyone
Incomplete.
else
That
did.
will bring up fourth down.
I always think of great defensive coordinators for that time. Jim Johnson,
It seemed
Dick
like the
LeBeau,
defense read that
from
one
the
beginning, and they forced
from the
it into
Steelers.
position with relative ease.
Beautiful call by the
and then Monty Kiffin
It'll be fourth down. Number
was a
one
great
gets the
coordinator.
snap
Each with their
and
different
punts it
styles.
away.
Monty Kiffin had the Tampa 2,
The 24. Dragged down at the 37.
and he would have been at Tampa Bay during this time. Dick LeBeau had that zone blitz and dropping linemen,
The Eagles
bringing
offense
heat from
takes
somewhere
the lead
else,
with
and
the
then Jim
clock at
Johnson just with
22.
the aggressive blitzing also. It's really cool.
Westbrook takes the handoff and heads out right. Tackled, and the clock will continue
We'll
to
take it
run.
to the half here.
Greg Ellis was a one-man wrecking crew back there. He powered into the backfield and made the tackle.
They put a stop to this play behind the line of scrimmage. Pretty good call by the defensive coordinator.
Agreed, Dan.
Westbrook was
They had
good.
it all locked up there.
That will bring
Before
up
it was
second
LaShawn
down.
McCoy.
And that'll do it for the first half of this
Westbrook,
one. The
pretty
Eagles
special
in
player.
command of this one.
Could do anything.
1-0.
Run.
And now let's send you to Chris Berman in our
Catch
studios
ball in the
in Bristol
backfield.
for the ESPN halftime report.
Crowd's
Boomer?
having fun. Yeah, so halftime show here. It's the presentation's good. Got the ESPN
Okay,
music.
Dana, we'll get back to you guys in a moment. But welcome, everybody, to the ESPN Halftime Show. I'm Chris Berman. Now let's take a look at the halftime stats. And boy, look at the difference in rushing
Now, I think
yards.
on the Xbox
Cowboys are
version of
certainly
this,
losing because of it. It's hard to
and
win when you
like
play
if
like
you
that.
maybe had a
We'll
hard
start
drive
this
for
one
your
off late in the
PlayStation
first
2,
quarter.
which I
Donovan
don't,
McNabb would find his target on this
these
one.
were not
A
pictures, but
27-yard
these would actually
touchdown for
be
the Eagles.
animations.
The Eagles get the first points of the game and go up by 7.
But you had to have a
Eagles
hard
now
drive for
early in the
that.
second
It's still pretty
quarter.
good.
Goal to
Like,
goal
this is
situation.
still cool.
Brian Westbrook got the carry as they pounded at
Still
him on the ground,
effective,
and he made the
you
most
know,
of
with
it.
the
A 2-yard
limitations of
touchdown for
technology
the
at the
Eagles.
time.
Eagles late into the second quarter. Eagles out in front by 14. Terrell Owens came up with a big play as he was able to pull this one in. And that's where we'll leave this one.
He's not even
Eagles
trying to
are up
watch
big
Owens
in
right there.
halftime,
He's dialed in on his
21-0.
job. Owens doing his job. He's doing his job. You got the Boomers halftime hero.
And as far as my halftime hero, well, there's really no contest.
Yeah, you can't
Terrell
really
Owens
argue
has
that.
taken over this game.
T.O.
And now let's return to the second
Get your
half.
popcorn
Dan
ready.
Stevens and Peter O'Keefe.
Thanks, Chris. And today's game has been presented in ESPN Game Sound, designed and developed in collaboration with Dolby, the leader in surround sound technology. The Eagles will get the ball first here in the second
Hopefully
half,
y'all don't
and they
mind
are
with the
dominating
extra
this game.
stuff shown in here.
Currently, they
I
are
wanted
up
you to see all the
large,
presentation.
21-0.
You know,
Now,
looking
let's
back
get to the
at some of
game.
the other games that I've checked, like the
Pundit
Mindscape
kicks it,
NCAA
and the
football,
second half has now started.
I had to give that one a 1-star, despite it
decides to
being
take it
one of
out
my
of the end
favorite
zone.
games when I was younger. Ooh, yeah.
One man to beat.
He
No one in front of him.
could go.
Touchdown.
That's a great way to...
I'll tell you something on this, baby. Just look at this. This is how you do a kickoff return right. Not only the
But I would have said that Mindscape NCAA football a 1-star. Madden 94, gave that 2 stars. Tecmo Super Bowl, 2 or 3 stars. Still having a hard time. I still like it better than that Madden. This game here, as far like just not giving decimals or anything, I would certainly have to think
Here's the
about
point after.
this game
and
being a 5-star of a game. I know it didn't review that well when it first came out, but I'm enjoying playing the game. Like, get a copy of this game, go out there.
There's the signal, and
If you
we're
have your
ready.
old PlayStation 2, your old Xbox, or
Akers
if you don't, go
kicks it
buy
off.
one. somewhere. Check out those
catches it
garage
back at the
sales
7.
and get this game. I
Stopped at the 22. Well, Peter,
always
some
kept this
interesting information up on the
disc
screen.
Oh, you bet. Well, punting is not
because
gonna
as
win
a
your game.
Eagle
Although it
fan,
looks like they are
had
trying
Terrell
to do
Owens on
that,
it.
They need to put a drive together and get into the end zone.
So I just always
haven't
kept it
got
as a
much out of
collector's,
their
but
offense recently, and
still
we'll
fun
see
to
if they
play.
can get
Still
back on
doesn't
track
have any
here.
scratches or
This
anything
drive
on it. It's
begins
worked
at their
well.
own 22-yard line. Jones
Fun
loses
game.
one on the play.
Highly
That
recommended.
brings
Highly
up second down.
recommended.
Nate Wayne targeted the ball carrier early and didn't even let him get back to the line of scrimmage.
That will be his 4th tackle of the contest. Second down, 3 wideouts in the game.
Number 21, the ball carrier. Number 53 with the tackle.
Yeah, I don't remember who that number 53 is, but I do know that
3rd down.
available as the free agent was Jeremiah Trotter in this game, and so anytime I played a dynasty with or a franchise with these guys,
Jones brings down the floater and tries to
I
get
was
free.
making sure that I
The
picked up Jeremiah
28.
Trotter.
Shepard will be credited with the tackle. It'll be 4th down.
Lito Shepard shut down the ball carrier just before he got to the markers. A good
I
game.
just didn't get
Eagles want to
pay
talk it
attention.
over, and they
Pay
take
attention.
their first time out. Number 1 lines up to punt after the 3
It's
and
an
out.
awesome game.
Number 34 to make the return.
Officials are in there. Remember when it was like
Number
you didn't
1
always have
gets the
officials
snap
in the video
and punts
games?
it away. Mahe fair catches it at the 35.
Give Buckhalter some carries here. Let's start running down the clock. Get out of here with
Eagles
the
have
win.
yet another
Get
shot
out of
at
here with the
scoring
dub.
and are in command. Their offense takes the field and starts this drive at the
Sharp point.
36-yard line. Takes it across the line of scrimmage and heads up
Yeah, it's
field.
just hard to get a good
Brought down
cut
at the 42.
in this game. Probably the running game's a little bit hard. Throwing the passes is a little bit harder.
2-yard line.
I know I've had some success through the air, but you really got to make sure you don't drop back too far. Kind of be aware of if it's supposed to be a short drop back or not. Can get yourself into problems if you can get your quarterback back to their drop. Make sure they're set and throw the ball. It's a lot easier.
Trey Thomas throws a gorgeous block here.
Trey Thomas.
That's how you make room
was
to
good.
move the ball.
Nice second down call,
Thomas
and they
running.
will move the chain.
On offense, it was always a plus to avoid
line.
3rd down altogether, just like that.
Juan Castillo was the offensive line coach. I met him at a coaching clinic in Lincoln, Nebraska. One time, that was pretty cool. Great coaching staff. Harbaugh from the Ravens.
Westbrook has
Look at
his
him
number
going out there. Wow.
down,
Hicks getting
well
down there.
past the markers for a first.
But Harbaugh from the Ravens, their head coach, he was the special teams coach for this staff.
Impressive yards in the ground here. Check it out. Boy, that's
Yeah.
some nice running. It's all about field vision. And if you can see where you have room to roam, good things happen.
McDermott, I don't know if he was on the staff at the time, but he eventually
Let me tell you, Dan, hearing those chains move is one
was
of
with
the
the
best
Bills now.
sounds
He
in the
was at
game.
defensive
For
backs.
offense.
Coach for Andy Reid and was the defensive coordinator for a year or two
Searches
there.
for a hole.
And got fired, I
Tackled at
think.
the 28.
Number 50 with the tackle.
And Lewis delivered the pain on that last play with a key block. Hey, forget the dentist. I'm afraid of this guy.
Peter, what a nice pickup to get them into a
And
second and short situation.
Who
Yeah,
else
great play,
was
and now they have a bunch
part
of
of that
options on what to
staff?
try next.
Ball at the 28-yard line.
Ron Rivera, who's with Washington.
Bulldozes right of center and picks up the first
I don't know
down.
if he was with this Eagles team as a staff. I can't remember, but he was on that early staff with Andy Reid. Some good coaching, good coach staff. Jim Johnson, though, as defensive
Oh, look at
coordinator,
those
was
numbers.
huge.
That's
And
how to
obviously
get it
Andy
done on the
Reid was his
ground.
own coordinator. I think the offensive coordinator in name was Brad Childress at the time. And then later it was Marty Wig when Childress to be the coach of the Vikings.
Hunting down at the 12. First down.
Brian Westbrook sticks close to his
All
blockers
that
here.
stemming from Andy
And it
Reid.
pays off.
And yet again, he's the go-to
You know,
man
Doug
for the
Peterson
offense.
Dan, ordinarily, I
was a
wouldn't
player
recommend
there and then
putting
was a
all your
coach
eggs
there
in
for a
one
little
basket.
bit.
But this is one rock'em sock'em basket.
Checking on the dog here.
Don't give him anything.
Westbrook picks up 6 on the play, and that will bring up second down.
He's good now. Alright, we'll run this down to the quarter. But then, yeah, that Andy Reid coaching tree, you know, then Andy Reid obviously coming from Mike Holmgren. Was it Mike Holmgren?
And that'll do it for the
That's the
third
end of the
quarter.
third
The
quarter.
Eagles in
Kind
command
of
of
looked a
this
lot like
one,
him.
28 to
Holmgren was
nothing.
with the Seahawks for a long time. And then they were, I think, at Green Bay together. And I'm not sure, but I think I can't remember who the head coach was of the Cowboys in 2004. I do not remember.
Westbrook will get the carry on second down
There
and
we
gets the touchdown.
I mean, it was before Bill Parcells was there. I can't remember.
Brian
Was Sean
Westbrook featured in the
Payton,
family on this play, and he had a lot of brothers
assistant
to help
coach
him.
at Dallas
Yeah,
during
that
that
design
time? I
run
can't
was a
remember.
success because he followed his blockers. Without him, he wouldn't have gone anywhere.
That was his second rushing touchdown of the day. Not a bad day at the office so far.
That's typical production for him, Dan. He's that kind of player.
Now the extra point, and
The extra point
it's
is
good.
good.
Here we go.
The ref gets the
Just
signal,
kick
and
down.
we're set. Akers kicks this one away. Smith.
Well, you know
fields
what?
the
As I'm
kickoff
looking
at
on
the
here,
9.
it was Bill Parcells.
At the 24.
Bill Parcells was the.
Zuriel Smith got
Head coach
waylaid
of the
by the
Cowboys that
defense
year.
before he
I
was
couldn't
able to
remember
put
if he
lunch
was
on
there
the
that
runback.
year or if he came the next year. And eventually they got
Cowboys
Terrell
get
Owens.
their
He
offense
would
on the
never
field
talk
and
about
will
Terrell
start
Owens. He
this
would refer to
drive
him as
at their
the
own
player
24-yard
in his
line.
press conferences.
Glenn didn't haul
Pass
that
is
one in,
incomplete.
and
They've
it
had some
falls incomplete.
Unusual
Shepherd
coaching
was with the
ownership
receiver all
dynamics
the way
in
back
Dallas
there on that deep corner route and interrupted
over
the
the
pass.
years.
Incomplete.
That had potential for some yards, Peter, but the defense was on top of it and shut it down.
Good denial there.
Second
I
down
mean,
coming
and
up.
then they had Phillips there. Jason Garrett was there.
Carter just rifles
Ooh,
this one.
nice pick.
It's intercepted. Forced out at the 27.
Matt Ware does a
Now
nice
Ware
job
coming
picking off the
in,
pass
making
there.
a play
He's got it, and he gets a little
from
more
that
with that nice little
nickel
rundown.
Boy, that
position.
was a heads-up play to come away with his first interception of the game.
Yeah, you gotta love D like that.
The Eagles are going to try and capitalize on the interception. They'll start this drive at the 27-yard line. Buckhalter chews up 4 yards.
Chew up some clock
That
here.
brings up
Not in a
second
big
down.
hurry.
With the tackle.
fullback carry here.
2nd and 6. Ball at the 23.
Get the players pointing, you know, especially where the other games I've been reviewing, the retro games. It's weird for me to think of this game as retro, but 2005, so it would have come out the 2004 year. I mean, it's almost 20 years old. That's crazy. But seeing the players pointing around, there's 3D models. It's a total different generation of football in terms of games and technology. You see the grass being kicked up in the air. You could see grass being kicked up or chunks in the turf in that Madden 94 game. I do kind of remember that. I don't remember if I mentioned it while I was playing, but I do remember that being in there. It just takes it up a level, and you could see this kind of progression of these games being made. Like it was more than just roster updates. The way it played, the way the gameplay felt.
Blockers, and that allowed him to make some good yards.
They moved the ball, and
going from just a season to being able to play a franchise, pretty awesome. I had a Madden jersey back in the day. Trying Richie in for the touchdown. Dallas just dejected. Carter not happy with his play performance.
John Ritchie fit in the family on this play, and he had a lot of brothers to help him. Yeah, that design run was a success because he followed his blockers. Without him, he wouldn't have gone anywhere.
He gets another call, and he's carried the offense on his shoulders for these last 3 plays.
Hey, until it stops working, there's no reason to look elsewhere.
Kicking's easy to do. It's got the old dial on there where you just push the button to start the meter, push it at the power. You can change the angle of it before you kick, which is good. When you're kicking off, it automatically moves.
The ref gets the signal, and we're set.
Probably just to increase the difficulty a little bit, I guess. Just a good-looking game. Best game I've reviewed so far, for sure.
At the 27.
Which we would expect
Smith got a very
as,
return
you know,
off
those
that
other
nice
games from the early
kickoff there,
90s. This came out in early 2000s, so this game would have been 10 games, or 10 years
The Cowboys offense comes
later
out,
than,
and they are way down
those
late
games,
in the
give
game.
or take.
They'll need some magic as they start this drive at their own 27-yard line. Anderson catches it in the flat, and that will be a gain of 3 yards.
Trying a little no huddle here. Working on things. Dallas got to work on things. Can't blame him. Can't blame him for trying. And with the positive, get some points. Work on your 2-minute drill.
Quincy Carter has had difficulties to say the least, and now
Cool
second
presentation. You know, showing the distribution chart there.
To get 21 yards and 1 interception.
I'm curious to know if we get a stop here, are they going to go for it? What's it like with the AI? They may complete it.
Ryan makes a tough catch, and they get the first on 3rd and long. First down, and 5 wide receivers take the field. Carter fires this one over the middle, and it's tipped. Incomplete.
Nate Wayne got himself in prime position to bat away that football before the receiver even had a shot at it.
You know, as a team, they are batting down passes left and right. That is their 6th so far.
Wow, great anticipation of the pass.
Campbell catches it in the flat, and that will be a gain of 3 yards. Third down.
coming
The clock
here.
is stopped at 2 minutes. Carter throws a beauty to the right side, and it's tipped. Incomplete.
Holding. Number 53, defense.
Oh, give me.
5-yard penalty, automatic first
Mark
down.
Simoneau got a fistful of his man to try and wrap him up on that play, but the ref saw it, and that's a clear-cut case of defensive
Obviously, that number
First
88,
down, 10 yards to
Antonio
go.
Bryant, not Des Bryant.
They couldn't connect on this
I
one.
will say the
Incomplete.
secondary,
With the deflection.
I like the breaks they make on the ball, but then not coming up with some of these picks is a
Second
little,
and 10.
like I should add
Ball
a
at the
pick
Cowboys'
earlier.
50-yard line.
I should have thrown one earlier. Making the
Carter
greatest
zings it to
exact
the right
plays.
side, and
I didn't
it's
look to
caught.
see what settings I have
Cowboys
going
take their
on,
first time out.
so maybe I need to check those
Third down
sliders
from
a
the
little bit.
shotgun.
So, good job.
Cowboys take a timeout. That's their second.
Controller is a little glitchy. Might be time to find a new controller for this. Might be time. Yeah, so they are going for it here.
Gets the sack, and that will force a turnover on down.
A little better at the pass rush on this game, whereas like on Madden, on the newer ones, I like to be a linebacker safety a little bit better.
Wallops the quarterback. Hey, where was the O-line, Dan? Did they just give up? Oh, that quarterback's going to be pointing fingers on that one.
Well, they don't convert on fourth down, and that
All right,
will be
let's
it
put
for
in
them.
Yeah, chalk this one up
Backup
in the
fullback.
L column, Dan. It's all over.
Give him some
Eagles
carries.
offense is
Show
on
him
the
some
field,
love.
and they can wrap up the game. They'll start at the 29-yard line. To pay, the Cowboys take a timeout. That's their final one. Second down. The clock is stopped at
So
1:36.
Dallas still using their timeouts here. I don't think you would normally see that, but obviously probably like with other games, you're down,
And the clock will continue
easier
to run.
coding to say use your timeouts.
Third down, two receivers to the left.
Ball at the 22-yard line.
The player models don't look too bad. Little kind of sharp edges, I guess, on the legs a little bit, you know, but it doesn't look too polygonish, however you want to say that.
Richie will get a carry on third down and gets the first down. The clock continues to run.
John Ritchie got yards by staying so close to his blockers. I think they were sharing each other's aftershave.
Peter, they did what they needed to do, and they squeaked it past the first down line.
Yeah, he knew what he needed to do, and he done did it.
How eloquently put.
Not a bad day rushing there by the running back and the fullback.
Blue 44! Blue 44! Hut, hut!
All right, let's take a knee here. There we have it. So let's check out this post-game stuff. Kind of wrap this video up. I'm a fan of the game still. Plays well. Enjoy it. I think if I was playing a tougher opponent, I would have had a harder time playing, or if I wasn't being a better team. But it's kind of nostalgic thinking about this game, about it being a memorable Eagles season. Picking the Eagles' rival. That's all solar flares on there, and the little flares on the screen.
Okay, Dan, thank you very much. And let's welcome all of you back to the studio.
What is
Chris
this?
Berman here to
Dominating
bring you our ESPN video
time of
game
possession and
post-game
yardage.
wrap-up.
Wow.
The Eagles stepped it up for sure, putting up some good numbers. Let's get started in this one early in the third quarter. J.R. Reed is back to return this one. He makes the first man miss. Then let him go. He could go all the way. Touchdown for the Eagles. The Eagles have opened it up and now lead by 28. Ball at the 7-yard line. Brian Westbrook got the carry here, and he was able to break through. A 6-yard touchdown for the Eagles. Cowboys down by 35. Matt Ware was in the right place at the right time, as his interception was a possible momentum shifter. The Eagles have it off an interception. John Ritchie found a little opening. That was all he needed. A 9-yard touchdown for the Eagles. And that's where we'll leave this one. Eagles serve up a shutout, 42-0. Now let's check in with our player of the game. A guy who made one big-time catch after another to help seal the win for his team. Terrell Owens is down on the field with Susie Calder. Suze?
Cool.
Thanks, Chris. You excelled under pressure today and led your team to a big win. What made the difference for you guys to come out triumphant today?
Man, I got to hand to those animals out there on defense tonight. They were all over the place, hustling, making hits. Man, they put them back on their heels. They made it a lot easier for us on offense to get.
Giving props to the D.
Back to you, Chris.
That winds up our broadcast.
Yeah, pretty cool. You got the old post-game interview with Susie and
Worldwide
T.O.
leader in
there.
sports for 25 years
Awesome.
and counting. I'm Chris Berman. Thanks for joining us.
And there we have it. So you got your stats and everything. The crib, ESPN crib, was like where you could unlock things and add stuff to it. Pretty cool. Highly recommend the game. Give it a check out. Find some other videos online about it. Find some place where you can purchase it. And if you're kind of tired of the same Madden games year in and year out, and you're looking for something different, you know, this might let you change it up a little bit. So appreciate you watching. Let me know what you think in the comments. Are there any retro football games that you want to see reviewed on here, see me break down? Let me know in the comments or shoot me a message. I'd be happy to take a look at those. Thanks for watching.